Regular press conference by Foreign Minister Motegi will begin. Please go ahead. I have 3 points to mention at the outset. First of all, on my trip to New York, if various circumstances allow, I shall be visiting New York from Wednesday, September the 22nd until the 24th, where United Nations General Assembly is going to be held, and attend the G4 Foreign Ministers meeting on the Security Council, currently under the chair of Japan, and other meetings. Further, coordination is also underway to hold bilateral meetings with various countries, since various foreign ministers of other countries are coming to New York. I shall like to attend those bilateral meetings to confirm the importance of a rules-based, free and open international order, and to hold frank exchange of views on regional situations, including North Korea, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Indo-Pacific, and other issues.
2点目ですが、
The second point, yesterday, the EU's joint communication on the Indo-Pacific strategy was released. I issued a statement welcoming the EU's strong commitment to engage in the Indo-Pacific and the announcement of concrete steps it will take in the future. I believe that Japan's views and initiatives on a free and open Indo-Pacific, which I explained at the EU Foreign Affairs Council meeting in January this year, which I attended for the first time as Foreign Minister of Japan, have been taken into account. Japan will continue to work with the EU and other like-minded countries, including EU member states, to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific.
最後3点目です。
Finally, the third point. Just a few minutes ago, from 10:30, I had a telephone conference with Minister Payne, Foreign Minister of Australia. She's in Washington at the moment, and at the outset, Foreign Minister Payne briefed me on the results of the Australia-US 2+2, which was held in Washington on the 16th of September, U.S. time, as well as the establishment of the trilateral security partnership between Australia, UK, and the U.S., AUKUS. And upon receiving that briefing, I commented that we very much welcome the U.S.-Australia Security Cooperation to strengthen the engagement into the region and the establishment of AUKUS. Next week, the Quad Summit between Japan, Australia, US, and India is scheduled to be held, and we agree that we will strengthen our collaboration, including through the Quad meeting, to further strengthen our cooperation between Japan and Australia for the realization of a free and open Indo-Pacific. We also exchanged views on our responses to North Korea. I mentioned to her that the launch of ballistic missile 2 days ago by North Korea is a breach of UNSC resolutions, and we strongly protested to North Korea. I told her that the recent nuclear missile activities by North Korea is a threat to the peace and security of Japan region and the international community. She agreed to me, and we confirmed the close cooperation between our two countries.
Questions, please. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and if you're called upon, please proceed to the nearest microphone and state your affiliation and your name before you ask your question. Please go ahead. Tomita-san, please. Tomita from Nikkei. Last night, China indicated last night officially that it would like to participate in the TPP. What are your thoughts on that? And TPP, the United States has stepped out of the TPP. So what is Japan's thoughts on this? TPP 11 is such that as the minister responsible, Japan has been exerting leadership in proceeding with this. It's a multilateral economic partnership. So the TPP 11 is such that in terms of market access and electronic transactions, IP, and government procurement, and state-owned enterprises. In terms of rules, it's a very high-level initiative. And as I have repeated in the past, for those, if China wishes to accede to that, whether it is prepared, whether its preparations are in place is something that we have to discern. And on the part of Japan, this time, China has submitted an application to accede. So whether the high-level requirements of TTPP is fulfilled or not, we think we need to ascertain that very well. First of all, and with the other participating countries, we want to consult well, and we will be responding, including the strategic aspects. On the TPP, UK, a new access of the UK is something that we are proceeding with, and so that would be the first priority at the moment. Next question, please.
Mr. Azahari?
Planetary Panoramic News and Our New Japan. Just commenting on the increased and enhanced cooperation between AU and Japan over the Indo-Pacific Free and Open Initiative. It seems that there are more military engagement. We saw the Queen Elizabeth carrier and other Dutch ship in the region. Do you think the AU will be more engaged in military aspects, especially concerning the dispute over Senkaku Islands with China? Thank you.
EU というか、NATO も含め
Not just EU, but with NATO in general, with European countries, in terms of security cooperation, the carrier Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom made a port call to Yokosuka, and this year in May, the training fleet of France, Jeanne d'Arc, made a port call to Japan, and the German frigate Byron was deployed to the Indo-Pacific region. So we very much welcome the expansion of exchange with Europe in this area. And most recently, former Foreign Secretary Rob and he was still the Foreign Secretary back then, and I had a telephone call and confirmed that we will further promote the cooperation between Japan and UK in security and defense areas. On cooperation with NATO, at the NATO Foreign Ministers meeting last year in December, I delivered a statement to call upon the countries as strong partners to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific with NATO. And working level cooperation with NATO is expanding. In April of this year, Japan for the first time participated in the drill hosted by the NATO Cyber Defense Cooperation Center. Of course, with the EU, we are promoting cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. This is not only limited to security, but interconnectivity, disaster risk reduction, climate change, digital. We're cooperating with the EU in extensive areas. So, we hope to promote cooperation with the EU in wide-ranging areas.
Next question, please. Toshino-san, please. I'm Ms. Sushiro from the Indonesian newspaper.
This week became a very noisy week in Indonesia regarding a warning notes from MOFA, Japan Foreign Ministry in Japan. Even there is a big media with a big headline, "Be careful, Japan's warning to Indonesia." A lot of friends, including my very important person, also asking me, "Richard, is that true that Japan issued a warning note of a possibility suicide bomb in Indonesia?" And I answer, "I don't know, because I never heard from Minister Motegi and even could not find it into MOFA website, including from Anzen Johor MOFA website." So is that true? MOFA of the beginning of September issued the warning notes. What is the reason behind the issue of warning notes regarding possibility of suicide bomb in Indonesia? Thank you.
まずですね、
First of all, what you've quoted is not the truth. These are not the facts. With regard to Indonesia, we have not said anything to that effect. On the 12th of September and the 13th, to part of the countries in Southeast Asia and the Japanese embassies and consulate generals, we said that in places of worship where people gather, there's a higher possibility of suicide attacks. And a consular mail has been issued to that effect. And we have called upon the Japanese living in these areas to be wary of terrorism. But among the countries in which we have issued consular emails to, Indonesia is not included. Next question, please.
Mr. Azahari?
Thank you, Azhari, again. Panoramic News, Arab News, Japan. I would like to ask about the Middle East, Minister. Japan last month imported almost 100% or 98% of its crude oil from the Middle East, from the Arab countries. And that makes the region very important and crucial for Japan's economy. But there are some war going on in Yemen, and this is very close to the oil fields where Japan gets its oil. And I think you said before a few times that Japan supports a peaceful resolution of that situation in Yemen. Recently, I think yesterday, there was a joint statement by Saudi Arabia, UAE, Emirates, and America and Britain, UK, to restore the situation and enhance the economy in Yemen and save the lives. So what is Japan's position on the situation in general there in Yemen? Thank you.
確かにですね、日本、原油の9割近くをですね、中東地域に依存している。
As you say, 90% of the crude into Japan comes from the Middle East. From such perspective, peace and stability in the Middle East is of crucial importance for Japan. On the 4th of September, the missile attack to eastern provinces of Saudi Arabia was launched, and repeated trans-border attack by Houthis against Saudi Arabia has been conducted, and we strongly condemn such actions. The Japanese government has been calling upon early dialogue for the political resolution and immediate truce in Yemen to Houthi and various stakeholders. We very much support the activity by Ambassador Grunberg, Special Envoy for Yemen of the United Nations, and various initiatives to end the disputes in Yemen and in the international community. I've been engaged in various telephone conversations with counterparts, and upon my recent visit to the Middle East, I've been calling upon the realization of truce and peace in Yemen. Japan will continue to collaborate with the relevant countries within and outside of the Middle East to realize peace and security in Yemen and the Middle East. Thank you.
Other questions, please? No further questions? Then we'd like to conclude the press conference at this juncture. Thank you very much to all.